members of the Clairwood Tamil Institute. It brings me great joy and honor to be part of such a well-established institute, one that goes over and beyond all of its duties. It ensures that all our people are taken care of, regardless of their age, their race, or their religion. We at CTI believe in always helping one another, promoting not only the Tamil language, but its culture too. I thank all of you for being with us today, and this program is definitely not one to be missed. I would like to introduce our program director to all of you. Her name is Mala Lakshmanan. Mala Lakshmanan is a Tamil scholar, author, teacher, and a broadcaster known for her immense contributions to the language, literature, and culture. With an unwavering dedication and passion of her work, she has played a significant role in her preservation and promoting the richness of Tamil culture, both in South Africa and internationally. Her presence as a writer, teacher, and broadcaster on Lotus FM has also made her a well-known figure. She was born and raised in the Magazine Barracks, a municipal workers' labour compound in Durban. Lakshmanan was exposed to the beauty of the Tamil culture at a very early age. Her parents, who were supporters of the Tamil culture, instilled a very deep love and appreciation of the language, encouraging her to explore all that is available to explore. Could you please all give a warm welcome to Mala.
Terisha அவர்களுக்கு மிக்க நன்றி. பெரியவர்கள், தந்தை தாய்மார்கள், நண்பர்கள், உறவினர்கள் மற்றும் சிறப்பு விருந்தினர்கள் உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் என்னுடைய பணிவார்ந்த வணக்கத்தை நான் தெரிவித்து உங்களை இந்த விருது நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு நான் மாலா லட்சுமணன் வருக என்று வரவேற்கின்றேன். And this is jointly hosted by the Clairwood Tamil Iyakkam Institute and the International Movement for Tamil Culture, whom I am greatly indebted to. And Miki Chetty is here, and many reasons why I agreed to do the job today, because not the job. To be here today, you can see how wobbly I am. But nonetheless, the first reason was when Anna Devan Pillai asked me, I said, no, I can't say no to you, Anna. So this is my first public appearance after my accident, and really lovely to be here in the presence of all of you. I think COVID put such a damper on all of us, but it's so good to see like Anakraba, Melvin, after such a long time, friends like Shamba, Kasturi. So lovely to meet with all of you, and I'm sure we're still going to continue our meet and greet once the program is done. I was also very excited to see Anasoli Pillai on the program, and I'll tell you why a little bit later. A young man that screams South Africa extremely proud, and I'll tell you why, like I said, we have it. ஆனால் இப்பொழுது தமிழ் எந்த நிகழ்ச்சி நாம் ஆரம்பித்தால் கடவுள் நாமத்தை கூறினால் அந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை ஆரம்பிப்பது நம்முடைய பழக்கம். ஆக இப்பொழுது பிரார்த்தனை இடம்பெறும். தயவு செய்து எழுந்து நில்லுங்கள். Please rise for the opening prayer. The prayer and the lighting of the Kuthuvalku, I invite Anbukuria Jagapalai avargal medika வைக்கின்றேன். Okay, நீங்க பிரார்த்தனை கூறலாம், அம்மா விளக்கு ஏற்றுவாங்க.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
With great pleasure to invite the youngster, Jairam, Naveed Jairam. He's an Indian classical dancer since 4 years old. He's a Zumba fitness instructor as well, and the part of the Dance Diwani International reigning winner, which was produced by Madhuri Dixit in Mumbai, India. And I hope that's the reason why she didn't come to South Africa 2 weeks ago, Jerome. So I invite you to come and indulge us with the opening dance. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Jaron Naveed Jairam. Thank you so much, Director. It's my pleasure now to hand over to Vijayashri.
Vanakkam. I will be reading out a letter from one of our dignitaries that was scheduled to be here today, Malay C.E. Satya. His letter starts, "To my beloved THIRUAVLLUVAR, esteemed brothers and sisters of South Africa, my best wishes and kind regards on behalf of our homeland, Tamil Nadu. To my beloved brother Mervyn Reddy, who has organized against all odds the 96th annual THIRUVALLUVAR Awards function of the Tamil Institute. To the great Tamil Dr. Miki Chetty, President of the ITC, to all the esteemed ladies and gentlemen, to all the THIRUVALLUVAR awardees. It is my sad misfortune to write this letter to you with a heavy heart, and I take care not to let my tears erase the writing as I bear this letter. I was looking forward to see you all in person and longing to be in your great company, but the conditions are beyond my control. I had originally planned to participate in the function along with the great Tamil Pally Mamuni, Dr. V.G. Santoshan, the president of the VGB World Tamil Sangam, who has donated 155 statues of THIRUVALLUVAR and sponsored 25 Thirukural conventions all over the world. Yet, unfortunately, it was not to be. Because of his advanced age and illness, and his 87th birthday falls on the 15th of August, the Indian Independence Day. However, I wanted to attend the function as planned and sent my application for visa on July 24th, last to South African Embassy at Delhi, the capital of India, and was waiting for a favorable response. Yet days went by without the good news of grant of visa until this moment. I am worried. I plead with you, my kind ladies and gentlemen, to understand my situation. Brother Mervyn has been rendering selfless service to the Tamil and organizing the 96th anniversary of the Clairwood Tamil Institute with high expectations. As he wished, I sought greeting messages for the anniversary souvenir brochure from Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Thalapathy M.K. Stalin, Honorable Member of Parliament, the Saviour of Tamil's leader, Vaiko, Honorable Minister of Tamil Culture, Swaminathan, and Honorable Minister for the Welfare of Non-Resident Tamils, Shinji Maskan. And they have all obliged me with their valuable messages, wishing well the diaspora Tamils, our umbilical relations. I thank their great selves on your behalf. I have procured for you award plaques, gorgeous shawls, and more. Yet I feel miserable not to be with you all in person, having so far failed to get the necessary visa. Even after the festivities are over, I am determined to make the trip for handing you all the procured items. I earnestly wish to set foot on the soil with the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, leader Veeramalai Srinivasan, and the young Theliyadi Valayamma Threaded. The opportunity to see the glorious land where the great Madiba Nelson Mandela thought, spoke, and fought for his people, and braved 27 years of imprisonment, and came out to rule for the sake of humanity. The opportunity to see my fathers and mothers in Mandela's labor land is within my hands. If not within my eyes, bleach. Until then, I seek the apologies and indulgence of you all, with no regrets about my for the interest of the Indian origin Tamils, as he is in no way responsible for this mess. Thanking you, yours sincerely, Malay C.E. Satya, President of the Malay Tamil Sangam. Mikanandi.
Vijayashri அவர்களுக்கு மிக்க நன்றி. And Mr. Solly Pillai அவர்கள், the name you should remember is Mastan Jindi. They've created a new portfolio in Tamil Nadu government, and that is for Tamils living abroad. And he is the Minister of Tamils living abroad, so it's good to have that kind of contact. So we could do Anamiki Chetty, all the things that you've done so far and all the dreams that you have, so we can continue to do that. From the time I've heard of culture, I've heard this name. And like I say, it's synonymous with Tamil culture. Therefore, it gives me extreme pleasure இப்பொழுது வரவேற்பு அழைக்க திரு மர்வின் ரெடி அவர்கள் நான் மேடைக்கு அழைக்கின்றேன். Someone who works tirelessly just to ensure that our Hori language and culture survives. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Mervyn Reddy அவர்கள்.
Firstly, I just want to say to Jeron, that started our opening dance. Jeron has been dancing on this platform ever since he was a little tomboy. You can see that he's grown into his dance, and what he puts out here, the vibration we feel out there. Jeron, keep it up, and thank you for gracing us and opening this event with that. I chose this couplet from the Tirukkural on pleasant speech. THIRUAVLLUVAR says, "Let a man listen to good things, however little. Even that little will enlarge his greatness." As I've penned my speech already, welcome, and those that are not here, I want to read that because we have our dear Anna that's via WhatsApp is also viewing and listening, so I'm going to read it the way it is. The president and founder of Ulaga Tamil Sangam, Dr. B.G. Santosam, who unfortunately could not be with us due to his ailing. The president and founder of Malay Tamil Sangam, Thiru Malay Satya, Tirumati Durgasini Satya, the Master Santi Kumar and Rio Kumar, distinguished recipients of the 2023 THIRUAVLLUVAR Awards, recipients of the 2023 Appreciation and Special Awards, Dr. V.T. Chetty, President of the IMTC. I've made my speech already, welcome, and those that are not here, I want to read that because we have our dear Anna that's via WhatsApp is also viewing and listening, so I'm going to read it the way it is. The president and founder of Ulaga Tamil Sangam, Dr. B.G. Santosam, who unfortunately could not be with us due to his ailing. The president and founder of Malay Tamil Sangam, Thiru Malay Satya, Tirumati Durgasini Satya, the Master Santi Kumar and Rio Kumar, distinguished recipients of the 2023 THIRUAVLLUVAR Awards, recipients of the 2023 Appreciation and Special Awards, Dr. V.T. Chetty, President of the IMTC, Professor G.K. Woodley, President of the Tamil Federation of KwaZulu-Natal, the South African Tamil Federation, our keynote speaker, Tirukriba Vaipuri, our program director, Tirumati Mala Lachmanan, who is no stranger to our Tamil society, and we are indeed glad that you are directing our program this afternoon. Honorary trustees, members and officials, Tamil educational and cultural organizations, religious organizations, dear patrons, respected past and present officials of the Clairwood Tamil Institute, the youth of the Clairwood Tamil Institute, Pengale மற்றும் தாய்மார்களே, எனது பணிவார்ந்த வணக்கங்கள். Before I proceed in officially welcoming you, I have to revert to THIRUAVLLUVAR's saying earlier, let a man listen to good things. However, no matter how little, even that little will enlarge his greatness. So I wish to elaborate on THIRUAVLLUVAR's message, listening to this good thing. And that is THIRUAVLLUVAR's statue that we should have been unveiling here this afternoon. It is most unfortunate that due to delays in shipping and logistics, the statue has only reached our port yesterday and will only be released in the next week. Unfortunately, this is out of our control, and I am sure that THIRUAVLLUVAR himself had reasons for this postponement. And yes, back to the message, the good thing that I can share with you is that the statue will be installed in the next 10 days, and it will remain here for you to come back and pay us another visit. So for you to have a visual of the THIRUAVLLUVAR statue, we have this beautiful banner made up, which is the approximate size of the statue that will be erected at this venue. We offer our gratitude to Dr. V.G. Santosham for his generosity in donating the statue to the Clairwood Tamil Institute, which no doubt will be a symbol of hope for our people and for generations to come. I must also take this time to offer our thanks to Thirumale Satya for playing a pivotal role in this organization, and to Dr. Vicky Chetty for creating the alliance. I now cordially and most lovingly welcome you all to our 2023 THIRUAVLLUVAR Award Ceremony. We are most fortunate that this year, amongst the 12 recipients of the Clairwood Tamil Institute, Clairwood Tamil Institute's THIRUAVLLUVAR Awards, there shall be 3 international recipients as well. As you heard earlier, unfortunately they could not be here with us, but we shall be making those presentations as the program unfolds. Over the last 20 years, Clairwood Tamil Institute has made its mark to uphold the Tamil culture, its language and traditions, but more importantly, to keep the Clairwood Tamil Institute's flag flying high. What I refer to is the actual structure in the building. You know, in today's day, the challenges we face, the decay of the Clairwood area and so forth, you are sitting in this auditorium, and that's what we are trying to keep it going. Amidst the countless challenges over the years, the members and officials have ensured that the Clairwood Tamil Institute continues serving the community. Perhaps the dynamics may have changed, but the aims and objectives remain focused on the propagation of Tamil and creating unity amongst all. I am happy that this recipe does work, because the evidence is right here today. Seeing you all here for this Tamil event in unity. So I would like maybe our new motto to be Clairwood Tamil Institute, bring people together. The program is indeed a wonderful one. Enjoy the rest of this afternoon, and I thank you for taking your time to grace this occasion. We can agree.
Mervyn Reddy அவர்களுக்கு மிக்க நன்றி. And when I look at the list of recipients, I think all of them are so worthy of this accolade, because THIRUVALLUVAR, it just embodies the whole ethos of what Tamil is all about. And I was talking to Shamba a little earlier, and I told her, since I've retired from school, I seem to be less productive. And this is the point I want to make. And I know that you were planning this, Mervyn. I'm already like 85% done with translating Tirupurul into isiZulu. And I know I would have pushed myself and made sure we have the book available. I have an ex-principal, an isiZulu speaking person, and he really said, what beautiful gems, I want to work with this. And that did it for me, because it was just not merely translating, but it was somebody who had his body and soul in the whole thing. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call upon the following people who will be awarding the awardee, the THIRUVALLUVAR, esteemed, prestigious THIRUVALLUVAR statue. But before that, I see my Nanba Sareshan in the audience. Nanba, vanakkam. Ungai varga varga endru varavetkiன்றேன். Please, can I have on stage Mervyn Reddy, Kuben Naidu, Kogi Pathar, Devan Pillai, and Devan Pillai. These people that are called out, could you please come up on stage? Each of these gentlemen hold their own in terms of the promotion of our language and culture, and therefore it's an honor for the recipient to receive the award from likes of you. Ladies and gentlemen, the first recipient of this year's THIRUVALLUVAR Award, and one of my favorite people on the world, Dr. Vicky Chetty அவர்கள்.
Dr. Chetty, you may have a seat on stage. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Our first set of awards for this afternoon's program is our special awards in recognition of receiving our THIRUAVLLUVAR statue. Our first awardee is Dr. V.G. Santosham. Dr. V.G. Santosham is a multifaceted personality, a poet, author, speaker, singer, philanthropist, tourist promoter, propagator of literature and culture, a connoisseur of arts, a peace lover, interreligious champion, which comes under one umbrella. His qualities are think big, think differently, think positively, and think ahead. Qualities which enable him to learn the tricks of developing Tamil literature and development towards Tamil culture. His ability to make the BGP family into a cohesive, well-knit group facilitated to take the group to new heights, glory and achievements. An industrialist from a small tea boy, newspaper vendor, and an odd job man on tour with his elder brother, had started a retail consumer durable shop, selling articles on installment purchase fee with the perfect motto of everything for everyone, which was a runaway success. Apart from this, Dr. BGP is a die-hard THIRUVALLUVAR follower. Today, we are truly honored and grateful for Dr. Santosham's most generous donation of our beloved THIRUVALLUVAR statue and the 500 Thirukkurals that are on its way to us. This award is presented to Dr. V.G. Santosham by our President of the Clairwood Tamil Institute, Mr. Mervyn Reddy, Deputy President, Mr. Kuvian Naidu, our Trustee, Mr. Koki Patta, and Executive Member, THIRUVALLUVAR. Dr. Santosham is not here with us today, but we will receive this award on his behalf. Our next recipient is a dear friend to the Clairwood Tamil Institute, Mr. Malay C.E. Satya. He is the Deputy General Secretary of the Marumalachi Dravida Munitra Kazhagam, the President of Manchuria Kung Fu International, the founder and President of Malay Tamil Sangam. He has received many awards over the years. He is a national champion of self-defense, the chairman of Mala Malippuram Town, Tamil Nadu Best Town Panchayat Award, Award of Bodhi Dharma in 2015, Award of Outstanding Martial Artist 2016, International Shotokan Karate, Award of Marvaran Netaji 2017, and many more. It was unfortunate that Mr. Satya is not here with us today, but he is joining us via WhatsApp call in the front. So, Vanakkam Mr. Satya. His award will also be received by the Clairwood Tamil Institute and presented when he does arrive in South Africa. Our next award is presented to Dr. Miki Chetty, the President of the International Movement for Tamil Culture, for his collaboration with the Clairwood Tamil Institute for his introduction to Mr. Satya and Dr. V.G. Santosham. His continuous work in the promotion and propagation of the Tamil language and culture, and especially his influence in bringing in the Tamil textbooks, making Tamil education available to us all. Let's give Dr. Chetty a warm round of applause. Call upon Dr. Chetty to pass his message.
extreme difficulty. Sometimes when you don't prepare anything, and suddenly somebody says, listen, now we want you to say a few words, it becomes a problem. But nevertheless, I have wonderful friends, and I think we all are friends here. We all are friends. And I want to start off by saying thank you to every one of you. And more especially the Clairwood Institute. I want to start off by saying Master of Ceremonies. I don't know, there's two young ladies which are conducting this event. And I say to Leslie and Mala, both of you, I think I have known over the years, and especially Mala, say to Leslie and Mala, both of you, I think I have known over the years, and especially Mala, I've attended a number of functions that we had. The president of the Clairwood Institute, Mr. Mervyn Reddy, his executive, his trustees, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank you to all of you which are present here, which is making this function a memorial one. And this event has emanated from a simple discussion with our good friend, our brother, and it was Satya, Mali Satya, who originates in India. I visited him, I was awarded there, I received an award there, and I want to say that Mervyn was there, which also participated in the event. I was surprised by the wonderful time that we had in India. When I say India, I mean Chennai, traveling from Malappuram to various other places in India. And for the first time in India, that we had visited India, everything was paid for by the institution. And I want to thank my brother, my friend and his family for the wonderful time that they have given us there, especially Mali Satya for his wonderful treatment that he had given all the delegates which were present in India from South Africa. Satya, I just want to thank you. I know you are hearing me. I want to thank you for everything that you have done. And I also want to thank you for negotiating this THIRUAVLLUVAR statue, which is now going to be based in Clairwood, the Clairwood Tamil Institute. And without any doubt, I just want to say to all of you here that these two gentlemen, Dr. V.G. Santosham and Mali Satya and their families, have given us a wonderful taste of their achievements. And what is unique about this achievement is Dr. V.G. Santosham invited us to his tea stand. It's a little trolley, a tea trolley, based on the beach. It seemed to me that he owned the entire beach from one end to the other in Malappuram. And the problem is this, that center is used by film stars which come and do their films in that area. To these wonderful gentlemen, I just want to say thank you. And I think South Africa deserves a big thank you, and I expect you to give them a big round of applause. I think this is the largest statue which is being put here in Clairwood, and rightfully rightly so. It's an institution which dates back to a number of years. And I want to say to you that the South African Tamil Federation was officially formed by the Clairwood Tamil Institute. I want to say to the officials, thank you. To the trustee, Cohen, and the other trustees, I want to say thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to just close the discussion by basically saying thank you to the Clairwood Tamil Institute. I know what it is to have a function of this magnitude when you've got people from India attending this function. Unfortunately, they couldn't be here, but a lot of work has been put into it. And I want to say thank you to Mervyn. While he was here, I was in Botswana. I want to say thank you to Mervyn and the trustees. I think Cohen played an important role. And I want to apologize that I couldn't make those meetings that you had. But you've done an excellent job. And without a doubt that we must refer to some things about THIRUAVLLUVAR. The various people have given various thought to Valluvar. And I just want to read a few things that getting a little old now, so we start using glasses. So I just need to put my glasses. THIRUVALLUVAR, he was solely concerned about the present world. To him, how one lives in the present and the matter of the supreme importance. He does not consider life better than family life. In other words, what he's saying is that you must include your family whenever you deal with anything that you do. Don't exclude them. And he goes on to say that he considers this situation and gives a plowman the highest place in society because of the thoughts of the great saint who provides food. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a unique problem when it comes to our communities. We tend to omit the most important persons in our lives. See, on stage here, besides our lovely sister Mala, you find many folk. And we fail to say that their wives make them to do what they are doing. So give all the women a big round of applause. Women play an important role in our lives, and we tend to get praise all the time from our male colleagues and say, what a wonderful guy you are. You're not a wonderful guy if you don't have the support of your wife. And I just want to say, not only the wife, the family also goes with it. And most of you which are sitting here will agree with me that you bring your daughters in it, you bring your sons in it, and you basically work tirelessly. I know, even in this particular issue, Mervyn's daughter has worked very, very hard, and I'm sure the young man which got married to him, he's having a problem also. So that's how it goes. I think you know the story. It goes without saying that we do not say thank you to those wonderful people that assist in the process. not me saying it, I'm saying what THIRUAVLLUVAR said. And this comes from the text, leave alone anywhere else. So, family is very, very important. I want to say what Mahatma Gandhi has said. Mahatma Gandhi calls in the textbooks, he says that on moral life, and goes to say the maximum of Valluvar has touched my soul. There is none that has given me the treasure of wisdom. That's what Mahatma Gandhi said. I wanted to tell you that Dr. Zak Hassan Khan, who was the President of India, would say that Thirukkural is a treasure house of worldly knowledge and ethical guidance and spiritual wisdom. Now, I'll repeat it again. Dr. Zak Hassan Khan. Now you're sitting in an auditorium which is called the Clairwood Tamil Institute. I don't think that you know, some of you may know. This institute assists all races, irrespective of who you are. Whether you are an Indian, whether you are black, whether you are white, whether you are crippled or sick or whatever the position is, this institute has assisted some way or the other our community. And I'm proud, I'm very, very proud of the Clairwood Tamil Institute, under the leadership of the present executive, with the executive trustees. I just want to say to you that you keep the flag flying high. Sometimes we concentrate on Tamil, we continuously say that, listen, let's do something for the Tamil community. And that is why we changed the face of the SATF whilst I was there. And it continues to play that role. Okay, it continues to play that role with bursaries for children. I suggested that we do not look at only children of the Tamil faith. We look at any child which needs education to basically get a bursary. Just recently, I was approached by a group of children where NSFAS refused them bursaries. I took it upon myself to basically contact NSFAS, and I asked those parents to apply again. Indian children. Now, one of the things that I've written on the report is that, are you sidelining Indian children because they're Indians? Or you think that Indians are always rich? And really, I got a reply. And the reply said, no, we are looking at any child which is disadvantaged. So I'm encouraging our children, when you do not have the financial means, apply to NSFAS. So please do not hesitate to apply to NSFAS. And last of all, I just want to say to Satya, thank you very, very much. I'm looking forward to your visit in South Africa. And please convey our love and regards to Dr. V.G. Santoshan and wish him a speedy recovery. And to the Clairwood Tamil Institute, I want to say thank you for this award. Thank you.
Vicky Chetty அவர்களுக்கு மிக்க நன்றி. The award that he has received is well earned. I don't think it's well deserved, I think well earned, because he's someone who walks the talk. I've visited most parts of the world under the auspices of the IMTC with Dr. Vicky Chetty. Going out and flying our Tamil flag and crying out to the people that please, we are not the stepchildren of the Tamil diaspora. We have a distinctive Tamil language and culture in our country, and don't treat us like we don't. And so you must make sure that your voice is heard. And how can we do that? I heard the background score of Sutti Sutti Bandiga a little earlier. That's from Rajinikanth's movie. Go out and support the movies. When Sut Sri Ram is down, go and support the concerts. Make yourself known and make yourself heard. Alright, enough of that. So next, another favorite person of mine, and he is Guru Vayapuri Avargal. இப்பொழுது நான் அவர் மேடைக்கு அழைக்கின்றேன். Actually, always utters gems that comes out of his mouth and his speeches. ஆனால் உங்களை நான் வருக வருகை என்று வரவேற்கின்றேன். Havana, you will let us know when you are ready to go, okay?
நம் மாண்புமிக்க நிகழ்ச்சி தலைவியாகிய சகோதரி மாலா லட்சுமணன் அவர்களுக்கும் கிளவுட் தமிழ் சங்கத்தின் பெரும் தலைவராகிய திருவாளர் ரெட்டி அவர்களுக்கும் மேலும் குபேர் நாயுடு அவர்களுக்கும் உலக தமிழ் சங்கத்தின் பெரும் தலைவராகிய டாக்டர் விஜி சந்தோஷம் அவர்களுக்கும் மறுமலர்ச்சி திராவிட முன்னேற்றக் கழகத்தின் காரியதர்சியாகிய மேலும் மலாய் தமிழ் சங்கத்தின் பெரும் தலைவராகிய திரு மலாய் சர்த்தியா அவர்களுக்கும் மன்சூரியா இன்டர்நேஷனல் ஹை கமாண்ட் திருமதி துர்காஸ்ரீ அவர்களுக்கும் மாஸ்டர் சாந்திகுமார் அவர்களுக்கும் டாக்டர் விக்கி செட்டி அவர்களுக்கும் கேசன் தமிழ் கூட்டிணைப்பு கழகத்தின் பெரும் தலைவராகிய ப்ரொஃபசர் ஜி.கே. முரளிங் அவர்களுக்கும் பேரன்புடைய பெரியோர்களுக்கும் அன்பின் அடைக்கலமான தாய்மார்களுக்கும் இங்கு வந்து சேர்ந்திருக்கும் நன் மதிப்புக்குரிய விருந்தினர்களாக உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் என் உள்ளம் கணித பாசம் நிறைந்த வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன். அன்பர்களே, இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியில் கலந்து கொள்ள எனக்கு அளவில்லா மகிழ்ச்சி தருகின்றது. இன்னும் சொல்ல போனால் பெருமையும் அடைக்கின்றேன். Ladies and gentlemen, I must admit that it gives me tremendous pleasure to speak in front of you today on such an important occasion. And அன்பர்களே, இந்நிகழ்ச்சியில் சில மொழிகள் கூற எனக்கு அளவில்லா மகிழ்ச்சி தருகின்றது. இன்னும் சொன்ன போனால் உண்மையிலே நான் பெருமையும் அடைக்கின்றேன். My Malay Vanakkam and greetings to each and every one of you, ladies and gentlemen, dear boys and girls, and all protocol observed, and to the esteemed guests from India who are listening via Zoom and WhatsApp, my humble Vanakkam, Namaskaram and Namaste to you. I consider it a singular privilege, ladies and gentlemen, and an honor indeed to address you at this year's THIRUAVLLUVAR Awards ceremony hosted by the Clairwood Tamil Institute. This August gathering of Tamilians today finds itself on hallowed ground at the Clairwood Tamil Institute. I say hallowed ground, ladies and gentlemen, because adjoining this very, very building here was where the Clairwood Tamil school used to stand, a humble building which taught many of the children who came out of the Clairwood area. And if one has to, they say, life can best be understood backwards, but we need to live it forwards. And if you could just close your eyes and think of those founding fathers, some of them very, very powerful Tamilians, Ko Ramsamy and various others, V.G. Padiyachi in the 50s, And it would be wrong for me to keep mentioning names, but ladies and gentlemen, the founding fathers of this illustrious institution, ladies and gentlemen, were people of courage, people of fortitude, strength, foresight, and vision. You know, there was one lady by the name of Helen Keller who was stricken with poliomyelitis at the age of 3. And she, when she became an adult, she once stated, and I quote, "I'd rather be blind than have sight without vision." So these men that I speak about, ladies and gentlemen, these men and women, they were people with vision. And in 1927, when like-minded Tamil stalwarts, they converged on this very, very place, this place where we are here at, say, THIRUAVLLUVAR Road, ladies and gentlemen, in Clairwood. When they converged at this place to establish the Clairwood Tamil Institute, it was with a vision. You know, vision tells you where you are going, and vision gives you an idea of what's to be done, your short-term, your medium-term, and your long-term goals. So it was during colonial times, 1927, 10 years before even the telephone was invented. So you can imagine our forefathers, our forebears coming together here, and their vision was to promote the Tamil language and Tamil culture. Tamil Pampat, Tamil Mori, Nam Thai Mori, Tamil ஒரு சிறந்த மொழி, ஒரு பழையான மொழி. It is indeed the oldest language spoken on this globe, a fact that has been established by UNESCO. And even the civilization to which we are custodians, ladies and gentlemen, is the oldest civilization on this planet. And at that time, when these men and women met here, ladies and gentlemen, the process of acculturation and the need to learn English to become employable, so Tamil as a spoken language, being severely affected. The Eurocentric Christian national education system did not make any place for mother tongue instruction, and this is where languages like Tamil, Telugu, Hindi, Gujarati, and Urdu were being marginalized. And even there was no space for languages like isiZulu and isiXhosa. And it's such a pleasure, Mara, to hear that you are going to write a book now, a translation into isiZulu of this beautiful work by one of the greatest poets that ever lived on this planet, THIRUVALLUVAR himself. And his opening lines, "Agara mudale eduthallam Adi Bhagavan mudatha uladu." isiZulu, "Nkulunkulu yas yonke, Nkulunkulu das bola yonke." I know you're going to say it beautifully in isiZulu, Mama, and I'm looking forward to that book. But imagine our great poet, our great philosopher, in those days had to say so many things, and things that actually make an imprint on our minds and hearts even today. So the Tirupalli is undoubtedly evergreen. Ladies and gentlemen, I mentioned all those people just now, and I took your minds back to about 94 years ago, 96 years ago. Very soon, 4 years' time, the Clairwood Tamil Institute will turn 100 years, a century. Ladies and gentlemen, but remember, this hall that came into being in the 50s today stands here as a testament of the blood, sweat, and tears and money of people that were living in wooden iron buildings all around this area. And thanks must go out to the trustees, being spearheaded by Mervyn Reddy and also Kuven and all the others. Thank you for the tremendous work you are doing. I want to say thank you is the memory of the heart. And thank you is a cardinal virtue. Nandri, Maraven. So a posthumous debt of gratitude. While I say thank you to you all today, Mervyn, and your team, a posthumous debt of gratitude goes out to that visionaries, those visionaries that I mentioned just now, that ancient group of sons and daughters of indenture here in Clairwood who strive relentlessly and against tremendous odds to keep the Tamil language and culture alive. Today we assemble here, ladies and gentlemen, to celebrate the contribution of some present-day stalwarts in the Tamil community. Individuals who have made a significant, a very positive and a meaningful impact on preserving our Tamil heritage, our Tamil parambara in our country, which is known to be a melting pot of cultures. In fact, South Africa is one of the most diverse nations on earth. And we are known for our diversity. But at no point in our history did we ever look at our diversity as a challenge that needs to be overcome, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, our diversity is one of our greatest assets, with the various colorful and different threads that go into making our common cultural heritage. உயிர் உள்ள போதே நன்றியை செலுத்த வேண்டும். உயிர் உள்ள போதே மரியாதையை காமிக்க வேண்டும். உயிர் போனவிட்ட பிறகு ஊரார் மெத்த ஒப்பாரி வைக்கக்கூடாது. We should validate, we should acknowledge, and we should appreciate people whilst they are busy doing the work and whilst they are alive and amongst us. And this is where the Clairwood Tamil Institute should be saluted for recognizing people for the work that they are doing, for the tremendous work that they are doing in preserving our ancient culture and our ancient religion. Let's give them a round of applause. Yes, dear ladies and gentlemen, the Clairwood Tamil Institute seeks to validate, seeks to acknowledge, and seeks to appreciate and show appreciation to individuals who play a pivotal role in preserving, propagating, and promoting the Tamil language and culture here on South African shores. And whilst these stalwarts are still among us. As THIRUAVLLUVAR Nayanar himself very succinctly states, ladies and gentlemen, in one of his couplets, couplet 391, he says, Katka kasadara katpavai, katrapin nidka adakka taga. Let a man learn whatever he may learn, and let his conduct be worthy of his learning. In other words, knowing is not all. Learning is not all. Application is of paramount importance. In the case of our awardees this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, where actions speak, words really have no meaning. So, to all those awardees, even before you make your way onto the stage, let us give them a roaring round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. These awardees, ladies and gentlemen, have earned the respect of a very benevolent society, and they have contributed in their own inimitable fashion. Remember, we come here in this Ulogam, in this Manulagam, and we are here all on a temporary ticket. This journey here is ephemeral. It is transient. It is temporary. No man or woman born has ever entered here with a single ticket. But whilst we are here, we should make the difference, and that is what these people have done. You know, life on its own has no meaning. When one looks at life and you try to analyze it, life on its own has no meaning. It is an opportunity that is presented to each and every one of us to give meaning to this phenomenon that we call life. And how do we give meaning to this life? It is by using its experiences, ladies and gentlemen. We refer to that as our life's experiences. By using our life's experiences to make a difference in the lives of others. That's what this life is all about. It is not about you. It is not about me. We are interconnected by millions of fibers, and like sympathetic threads, our actions are known to run as causes and come back to us as effects. So how do you use your life experiences? Do you use it to enhance society? We have a long program, and I wouldn't keep you too long, but I must state that we as human beings, we as Hindus, we as Tamilians, we as a minority diaspora in a melting pot of cultures here in cosmopolitan South Africa, we must remember that the strength of any community is most certainly its cultural heritage. Parambara. Panpatu is our culture. Parambara is our heritage. So, one must remember that the strength of any community living in this country, more especially a diasporic minority like ourselves, our strength lies in our cultural heritage, and this is accentuated by the community's proficiency at assimilating, at integrating and interacting with other communities. This is most important. Have we, as Tamilians, done this? Yes, we most certainly have. Even if I didn't say this, ladies and gentlemen, a number of great persons on whose shoulders we stand today have said this in the past. Even Mahatma Gandhi singled out the Tamil-speaking diaspora for their magnificent efforts in the freedom struggle, which was initiated by him here, right in this country. We most certainly, as Tamilians, have made a difference. As Valluvar states in the Guru, those are fools, however, learned, who have not learned to walk with the world. And have we not learned to walk with the world here in South Africa? Have we not, as Tamilians, mirrored the beauty and glory of our individual culture, our beautiful culture and heritage amongst the people with whom we live and work? Yes, we have certainly done that. So since the time of indenture, ladies and gentlemen, we have always endeavored and succeeded in mirroring the beauty and glory of our culture and of our language amongst the people with whom we live and work. Many of them that languish there on the island were Tamil speaking struggle veterans, ladies and gentlemen. It would be wrong for me to mention each one by name, but you know them. And they were respected for their Tamil culture. But more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to have had individuals in our folds who have contributed substantially to the dynamics that brought change into this country. The ones that I mentioned on the island, ladies and gentlemen, more than that, many others who are still living and walking amongst us today. So they did this not only for the improvement in the quality of life of all of South Africa's people, but also for the birth of the new democracy. We Tamils, we continue to make a significant contribution to the social, to the political, to the educational, and to the economic prosperity of this country. That is the truth, ladies and gentlemen. And if the truth offends, better the offense than the truth being concealed. Congratulations to all the awardees. Congratulations to the executive members of the Clairwood Tamil Institute and its affiliates and its members. Collectively, you are indeed living monuments of commitment to human endeavor and achievement. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to close with those words by Kavi Subramani Bharatiyar, Yam Arinda Murigazhile Tamil Mudiyai Pol Inidavadi Engam. And his student, poet also, Bharatidasa, Tamil Yendu Sollada, Thalai Nivarundan Nilla. And that is what we are doing here today, ladies and gentlemen. We are celebrating our language and we are celebrating our culture. Give all of yourselves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
I have yet to meet here in South Africa or abroad I've yet to meet anyone who can read the Jantakam as precisely as Anna does. And with that, I know you've impacted on many, many lives. Anna's an ex-former principal. And I think Mervyn,
You couldn't have chosen a better person for your keynote, as a keynote address, because Anna was principal at Ridge, and I went to the school for something, and just by the way, Anna called a learner that was walking past, and the learner must have been like grade 3 or so. And he asked the learner, what did you learn in the assembly this morning? And the learner recited the THIRUAVLLUVAR. So I was taken aback. So we can see this action. We also spoke about the Tamil diaspora, and I think from all the whole diaspora, I think no one was more challenged than the South African Tamils. Yet, like the phoenix, we rose. Amongst all the hardships we had, we didn't play victim and we still made it. So I leave you with this question. What are you doing? Are we going to say the same thing in another 180 years? And that depends on us, you and me. What are we going to do to carry this forward? A token of our appreciation to Anna THIRUAVLLUVAR, more than ready. The very first brochure that was printed goes to Anna THIRUAVLLUVAR. Wonderful gesture, Madan. Havana, are we good to go? Havana will now delight us with a fusion dance. Ladies and gentlemen, I now introduce you to Mrs. Bimla Naidu, and she will introduce the next set of recipients.
Vanakkam, dear family, friends, and esteemed awardees and recipients of the coveted and highly anticipated THIRUVALLUVAR Awards 2023. It is indeed a privilege, honor, and pleasure for me to be addressing such an august and fine audience like yourselves today. As you are well aware, the Clairwood Tamil Institute, more fondly known to most of us as CTI, turns 96 years old this year. A truly amazing and accomplished feat. Let's take a few moments to acknowledge the significant milestone with a round of applause for the grand old dame of Clairwood. It is a rare and scarce occurrence to find an organization with longevity and finesse of the Clairwood Tamil Institute that has survived 2 world wars, seeing the end of oppression and the rise of democracy, the turn of the millennium, and the scourge of COVID-19, together with the widespread rioting and looting, as well as the floods experienced in KZN. She still stands tall and majestic in all her elegant splendor. This is the CTI that we have come to know, love, and are accustomed to. None of this would be possible without the support, commitment, and dedication over the many years and decades commencing in the 1920s of our dear patrons, supporters, and donors. They have all contributed and continue to contribute, in some cases so selflessly and seamlessly. Without these pillars of support, it would be virtually impossible to maintain and sustain the grace and charm of our dear CTI. It is within this framework of gratitude and appreciation that we acknowledge and give thanks to these remarkable individuals and organizations that have stood by CTI through the throes of time and continue to extend their hand of support whenever it is needed. We will call out these recipients in 2 batches and in no particular order to receive their tokens of appreciation for their philanthropic and selfless commitment to CTI. And we look forward to a long and sustained relationship into the future. To present the Achievement Awards, can we please have Mr. Mervyn Reddy, Mr. Jaga Pillai, and Dr. Vicky Chetty to come to the stage. To the recipients of the Achievement Awards, please can I ask you make your way up to the stage as your name is called out. Our first set of recipients are Mrs. Selvanagi Pathar, a Tamil teacher at our beloved CTI, Mrs. Sally Mudli Padiachi of Marymill Pharmacy, Mrs. Mala Munisami, of the CEO of Thai Trans, Mr. Aidan David, Director of SCAFA, Mr. Srini Govender, Director of the PT Group, Mr. Dennis and Mrs. Shemaine Mudli of HITAP, Mr. Previan Naika, Director of EMS Repsol South Africa, Mr. Charles Naidu of QTech, Mr. Stanley Naidu, CEO of Stanyal Papers. Mrs. Mala Muhikami.
the person who's going to do a few items for us. ஆனா இப்போ சொல்லட்டுமா அல்லது நீங்க சொல்ல போறீங்களா? நான் சொல்லட்டுமா? Ladies and gentlemen, Viveka, this is going to be of importance to you as well. We have Mr. Soli Pillai, who's done the country absolutely proud. He's been selected to represent us at a conference in Chennai on Saturday. And at that conference, there will be the Minister for the Overseas Tamils. Soli has already prepared a paper. He's been selected from a group of names that were given. And hence, I make that announcement now. Indeed, a proud, proud moment for all of us. Bye,
Solly Pillay not just has a passion for the language, but he's a singer of repute as well. And he's going to delight us with a few devotional hymns. Ladies and gentlemen, the starters have been served. You may indulge, albeit softly. Thank you. And then Solly Pillay also, besides delivering a paper at the conference, is also going to be receiving an award for his contribution to language and culture and music in our country, indeed making all of us very, very proud. I can't hear a round of applause. Thank you.
மதிப்புக்குரிய பெரியோர்களுக்கு எனது அன்புமிக்க வணக்கம். I stand here quite emotional because 63 years ago, I entered that little building next door and got my Tamil education when I was 7 years old. It's emotional for me because, for me, what I got out of that tin shanty, as some would have called it, was what defines me today. I am not a law graduate or a psychology graduate. I am a Tamil cultural activist. And it all started in that humble little building next door with Mr. Pragasan, who first taught us Tamil. And some of you would have known that I was an actor on the stage for 25 odd years and then on TV. And it all started with Amma Parvati putting us on the stage when I was 8 years old, singing Oru Thai Makkal in our white adorned and with our caps. My first appearance on stage. So when you talk of the people that had the vision, we underscore the greatness of those people. I'm sorry, I know I'm supposed to sing Mervyn, but allow me this indulgence because we should never forget. We cannot where we come from. And the Tamil pyramid, you must have that Tamil pyramid. And in saying that, we've spoken about various people, and I'm sure Mervyn will agree with me. There are two people here that I want to specially pay a tribute to. One person, ஒவ்வொரு வாரம் அந்த அழகான குரல் ரேடியோல இருந்து தமிழ் மொழியில பேசுகிறது. Every week she comes and she reminds us of this beautiful Tamil language in a lovely Sen Tamil. And we underscore the value of that little injection of Tamil in our lives every week, on a Saturday, on a Friday, and a Sunday. And that has held that Tamil flag flying high. The second person I want to honor, wherever you go, people say, if Kripa Vayapuri is not around, they mention one other name, but I won't mention that name. If Kripa Vayapuri is not around, we don't know what we are doing. We don't know why we are doing it. That voice that comes out bellowing in that lovely, lovely Tamil Mori is a greatness that we all should be proud of, absolutely proud of. It is an absolute gem in our lives that we have these two people that make us proud of being Tamil. Mala, I'm going to ask you to stand. Please, sorry, I know it's difficult. I'm going to ask you, all of you, to stand and read this Tamil Mori aloud. மலர்களில் போல் தங்கை உருகுகின்றார் அண்ணன் வாழ்வாய்ப்பான் என்று அமைதி கொண்டார். மலர்களில் போல் தங்கை உருகுகின்றார் அண்ணன் வாழ்வாய்ப்பான் என்று அமைதி கொண்டார்.
Mata Pita Guru Deva. You've heard it a million times and you will always hear it. As Tamils will say, Annayum Pidavam Munnari Devam. Mother, father, before God. Mother is pivotal. In Hinduism, the only major religion in the world that has mother as a deity. Everything around us is mother. If we talk about motherland, Tainatu. We talk about mother language, Taimuri. And this place is my alma mater. Mater in Latin is mother. The power and the greatness of mother should never, ever be underestimated. It's a month of babies and women this month. Don't forget that. The prayer to the mother God at the temple does not stop until you come back home and worship and revere the living mothers in your lives. Your mothers-in-law, because they're somebody else's mother as well, and your wives, because they are the mothers of your children. That's when the cycle of prayer will complete from the temples to your homes.
Without our mothers, we are nothing. With your permission, Mervyn, I would like to go on, but I'm sure that's time constrained. But I'm going to sing it from there because it's a special time this month of Adi when we
offer our prayers to Mariamman. And I want to just pass a message to the youngsters who may have been bullied by the practices of old when we used to have the Amen prayers with all the paraphernalia, with Vades, Gulugulas, afternoon prayers, and so on. Please, the essence of Amen prayers is the porridge and the 3 curries. Even if you can't do the rest of it, don't feel that bad that you haven't done it. Just offer just the prayers with your porridge, your 3 curries, and you would have prayed to Mariamman. You have to pray to Mariamman because Mariamman protects you and your children from all the diseases. As you know, Amman came in the form of Mari, and she helped people with paste of manjal and rapalate or single leaves and gave them porridge. So, friends, please convey this to your children. Even if they do it on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday, God is a forgiving God. God is not a punishing God. So dispel this concern by people that the youngsters especially, that they have to invite their families. They don't. Dispel this notion that they've got to make vada, kolikata, and gulugula. They don't. Just the porridge, 3 colors. This song is a song dedicated to Mariamman. once again the honor of being here. And remember, there's a good reason why the IT intellectual capital around the world comes from the south of India. There's a good reason why people like the Harvard University have a seat for Tamil. Tamil is still regarded as one of the greatest living classical languages in the world. Please don't forget that. Varga Tamil Mori. Varga.
Pillai அவர்களுக்கு மிக்க மிக்க நன்றி. May the divine blessings of Amen be with you on your travels as well, and wishing you a safe and successful time at the conference, and I can't wait.
The second set of the recipients of the Achievement Awards are as follows. Mr. Raven Perumal, the Director of Elite Group Holdings. Mr. Desigan Naidu, Director of DMR Stainless Steel. Mr. Kuven Naidu, CEO of KNFT Group. Mr. Riaz Parab. Mr. Anandraj Pillai, Director of Fireworks King. Mr. Colin Kiston Pillai of Top Line Manufacturers for the amazing work that his dad, the late Shian Daya Kiston Pillai, had carried out with the youth of Clairwood. Mr. David Pillai of Shitorio Karate Do. Mr. Kumaran Pillai, CEO of Gantrans. Mr. Vivesh Pillai, Director of Verbs Print. And Mr. Rishi Singh of the RM Singh and Sons family. You all please make your way to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, another request, a few more cars are on the way here. I'll read to you quickly. ND 167 TKP, that's from Gauteng. ND 37573. ND 85522J. NA 265980. ND 872273. ND 540-218. Really, we have some badly parked drivers here. I'll go over them quickly. ND 167 TKP, that's a Gauteng registration. ND 37573. ND 85522J. ND 265980. ND 872273. ND 540-218. Thank you.
Now have for the next set of awardees of the Achievement Awards, Mr. Kuven Naidu. Pillai. Mr. Rashi Singh will receive the award on behalf of Mr. Rishi Singh. Once again, thank you to all our valued recipients for their infinite support, guidance, and undying commitment to our beloved CTI. Make it happy.
Thank you, and thanks to all the congratulations at least to all the recipients. It gives me great pleasure now to call the former president of the Clairwood Tamil Institute, and that's Mrs. Narantani Naika, a former educator as well, so we are both in common. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you to her, for her to deliver her address. With the awardees, I just want to be a little bit self-indulgent, allow me that. Anna Devan Pillai, I'm so glad that you received this accolade, because coming out of Chatsworth, I know how much you do for the welfare of our people in Chatsworth as well. Thank you.
அன்பும் மதிப்புக்குரிய பெரியோர்களே, அன்பார்ந்த நேயர்களே, தங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் என் உள்ளம் கனிந்த வணக்கம். My talk is on the christening ceremony and the THIRUAVLLUVAR as an embodiment of Saiva Siddhanta. Respected elders, ladies and gentlemen, and loving children, my heartfelt greetings to you. The birth of a child usually brings much joy to parents, grandparents, family, and friends. A christening ceremony in the life of a person, and much thought is given to the choice of a name. Being named is both a birthright and a legacy. Saint THIRUAVLLUVAR in Quote 66 of the THIRUAVLLUVAR, written over 2,000 years ago, says, Kujolinindu Yarinindo, Yenpadu Mako, Marshwe, Sol, Kella, Yar. Sweet is the music of flute and lute to those who know not the melody of their little one's prattle. To a mother who is given birth to a child, even if the child utters a few incoherent words, it is sweeter than the music of the flute or lute. In the natural order of things, parents are tasked with ensuring the child grows up healthily with good manners and wisdom. When this child is praised by another, learning for his or her greatness, the mother rejoices more than at the birth, wondering what penance she has paid to beget so great a child. Quran 61 to 69 further elaborate on children. Among the blessings one should have, there is none so great as having sensible children. No harm will befall a man in all births he may have if he begets children of irreproachable character. 63 says, children are said to be one's possession, for what they acquire becomes the wealth of the parents as well. 67, what a father is expected to do for his son is to make him fit to hold the foremost place among the learned. And the wisdom of one's children will be a blessing to the world at large, rather than merely the parents. At the the start of a christening service, lamps are lit. God is worshipped as pure, effulgent light. Songs are sung praising Him, and we petition God to accept our garland of words. In the course of the christening ceremony, the priest whispers the name into the child's ear 3 times. The name is then revealed to the congregation or the group. The priest or speaker wishes the baby the 16 qualities that the newborn should have for a joyous and prosperous life. Pugurindu, praise, a glorious life. Kalvi, a good education of knowledge, value, and ethics. Vali, a life free from pain. Vetri, success in endeavors. Nanmukku, blessed with this for all those around. Pon, wealth. Neli, food or rice. Nalori, good-heartedness. Nigitchi, intelligence. Arivu, wisdom. Yalame, being young at heart, fun-loving and happy. Arive, inner and outer beauty. Perume, taking pride in activities. Tulebo, witty. Noi in May, free from illness. And Ayo, a long and prosperous life. The prayer and virtum by the priest are accompanied by the ringing of the temple bell, the lighting of incense or camphor, the smearing of tiruniru on the forehead, the sprinkling of rose water over the baby, and the glorification of God using flowers and rose petals. You don't need much more. Grandmothers then sing the lullaby for the grandchild. The singing of the sacred songs of the 63 Myanmars, the Saiva saints, embody Saiva Siddhanta philosophy. Ondre Kulam, Oruvane Devam. One world, one God, one humanity. And Anbe Sivam, Sivame Anbu. God is love, and love is God. How much more simpler can we get? In praising God as Namasivaya, who has passion and love for His creation, we pray for His grace and arun to be free from the circle of births and deaths. We worship Nataraja as the cosmic dancer, inner and outer, our creator, preserver, and dissolver. He is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. He has no beginning, no end. He is not born, he does not have a wife and children. We pray for the fourfold path to liberation. Sariye, manual cleaning of the place of worship. Kriya, performance of worship. Yoga, external and internal. It's the union of mind, body, and soul. So we function as a total human being. Jnanam, where we focus on purely the intellectual, the scriptures, the religions of the world, whatever it can teach us, we imbibe from mentors, the people of the past, our family members, and we become better human beings, informed by love and scriptures. The congregation, by singing the hymns in unison, by closing the eyes and clasping of the palms, by listening to musical accompaniment, by meditation and witnessing Bharatanatyam, the divine dance becomes an integral part of the christening ceremony. The program director or a family member moves a vote of thanks. It's so important to thank people, to be thankful, to be grateful, whatever little we have, and to acknowledge the people in our lives. With prayer and participation, we gain a sense of spiritual upliftment and the benefit of society and humanity. It's a Tamil humanism that lets us conquer mental apathy. It's so important that the mind is catered for. Today we have so much of mental illness in the world. There's so much to be despondent about, but we need to overcome it, even if it's with yoga, to focus on your body, mind, and soul,
to become a total human being and to banish away mental apathy. We paid tribute to our fathers. So many of our speakers did that. For promoting our language Tamil, the most ancient living language in the world. And religion, especially in November, when we acknowledge the indentured laborer and our roots. They came with a parcel in which they bundled up their religious texts. And they came with seeds. The mango seed, you see it all over Durban and all over KZN especially. And the moringa seed. Today it's been acclaimed in Africa that the moringa is such a powerful medicine, and our ancient people knew it. Every part of the moringa tree is used from root to the top. The family usually thanks the congregation by providing a vegetarian meal or refreshments. This enables social bonding of family and friends, so important. Today we're in far-flung areas of the world, but that social bonding, that keeping in touch, whether to WhatsApp or what, through our special groups, it's so loving to be part of all that. But most importantly, by allowing the youth to witness the function and participate, they get a sense of who they are, who we are. The arts and culture are passed down from generation to generation. And by sharing with the wider society, we integrate as a nation. We spoke about our diversity. And we are part of this global diaspora. Today's function does just that. The Clairwood Tamil Institute needs to be complimented for holding these functions and award ceremonies, rewarding people while they are living. But once they are gone, they cannot hear your words of praise. We thank the organizers, the sponsors, in this beautiful hall, the Clairwood Tamil Institute, just 510 Durban City Centre. And we're so grateful that it didn't get burnt down in the mines, as did the cinema and other parts of Clairwood especially. The Naika family to which I belong, I'm a daughter-in-law there, started my career here at Clairwood Girls' School. My father-in-law and elders in the family were part and parcel of this Clairwood Tamil Institute. The mothers cooked, went out door to door, raising funds. What a struggle. But as many acknowledge the role of the woman in helping the menfolk to do the work, the cooking, the beautiful vegetable meals, eco-friendly, served on banana leaves. We can't get more eco-friendly than that. And we say, Varga Tamil Murray. Clairwood was turned into a slum. Intentionally, we were taken out of this school and dumped in Chatsworth. We didn't say no to that challenge. Chatsworth rose. And Clairwood will rise. We just need to clean up, get the people documented. There's no crime as such in Clairwood. And Clairwood will surely rise. Varga Tamil Murray, Varga. So beautiful being here today.
Niranjani avargalukku mikka nandri. Well researched. I think you should give it to some universities to get it published in a journal. Especially the Padinara Selvangal. Often when you go to a wedding and the elders or the priest will bless the bridal couple with Padinara Selvangal Petru Inbamaga Varavendam. And then everyone starts laughing. It doesn't mean that you must have 16 children. It talks about the 16 kinds of wealth, which Niranjani articulated in an article. I now have the pleasure of calling upon Derisha Naidu, and she will introduce to you the recipients of the THIRUAVLLUVAR Award.
It is truly a great honor to present the 2023 THIRUAVLLUVAR Awards this afternoon. Before I call upon the recipients of this most prestigious award, I would like to give you a little insight as to how the THIRUAVLLUVAR Awards came to be. In the 1980s, CTI started the Kale Ala non-current event. At this event, top artists in the community participated in the Tamil song, dance, and language. People who served in the institute and was making great advancements in so many aspects needed to be appreciated for their selfless contributions to society in regard to the Tamil language and culture. So at this event, CTI started the Ponnadi Golden Shawl, known as a high accolade given to a Tamil person. This was the start to the THIRUAVLLUVAR Awards. This continued for many years, and after the great challenges of people moving away from the Clairwood area and the Tamil school battling for survival, this came to a stop as with many activities. In the early 2000s, Mr. Mervyn Reddy, who is the current chairman, decided to continue this tradition and saw the Ponnadi as an important accolade to hand to many people who for decades contributed but was never recognized, and many others that had already passed away. With the restoration of CTI being a beacon of hope, this needed to be symbolic. With the restoration, it needed to be a beacon of hope, this needed to be symbolic. Hence, to embrace the foremost Tamil scholar of ethics and models, THIRUVALLUVAR was seen, and this vehicle to acknowledge the great work done by people of our society, and more especially people from the Clairwood Tamil Institute, some whom become top Tamil scholars in our country. In reference to the THIRUVALLUVAR, this event was approved by our trustees and executive in the 2004 to be named the THIRUVALLUVAR Awards, which also incorporates the Ponnadi. Over the last 20 years, CTI has recognized almost 100 individuals who have served in various roles, making significant contributions to the language, culture, arts, drama, sing, and dance. These were further expanded to social and sport. I would now like to welcome on stage our honored recipients of the 2023 THIRUVALLUVAR Awards. I would like to call upon our presenters for the awards, Mr. Mervyn Reddy, Niranjani Naika, Kogi Pata, and Kuben Naidu. To welcome on stage our honored recipients. The first three unfortunately are not with us this afternoon, but it's Dr. V.G. Santosham, Tirumale C.E. Satya, Tirumati Durgashini Satya. Unfortunately, they're not with us today. I would like to call upon Tirumati Devalakshmi Devi Hatha. Please give a round of applause. Tirumati Achama Tosi Kale, Tiru Genes Radhan Kale, Tirumati Panjali Modi Gavandra, Tirumati Radha Mugi, Tirumati Katagam Naidu today, The first one is THIRUAVLLUVAR, and her story goes like this. We all have a life story. A life story is my personal account for all the important events and experiences that have contributed to me becoming the person I am today. My life story explains a significant role in shaping the way I define and perceive myself. I was born in Clairwood on the 7th of June, 1046. To my parents, the late Nadesan, Sundana Govender, and the late Archie Govender. I was one of 4 siblings. Being the youngest, I was adorned with the love from my parents. I started my schooling career in Clairwood Girls Primary, then moved to Clairwood High School, only being able to complete Standard 8. Baking, cooking, and sporting activities was something I was very passionate about during my schooling days. After leaving school, I went on to helping my father in his well-established business, back then called Coastal Sweepsheets. It was there I learned how to be a strong and independent woman, as my mom had passed on when I was 6 years old, and I needed to be there for my father, as all my elder siblings were married. Throughout my teenage years of working in my father's shop, it was then that I met my husband, Gurunathan Kokilan Patha, who worked in his uncle's jewelry business, K&, Archery. I was 18 years when I met him, and at that age of 20 years we got married, and by 24 years we had 2 loving children. We later went on to pursue our lives in Isipingo Beach. Being there, my family and I joined many social activities, many of which being social and recreational. For the past 19 years, my husband and I have been living in Clairwood, in Flower Road. Since then, we have joined and are still actively involved in the Clairwood Senior Citizen, the Namashivaya, and the Clairwood Tamil Institute. My word of advice to the younger generation is that life is work in progress. Always choose to highlight your success and accomplishments in life, and to always remember to join the service group and CTI. Please can we give her a round of applause? I would like to call on THIRUAVLLUVAR Parker to receive her award. Thank you very much, Auntie. Our next recipient is Achuma Tulsi Pillai, and her story goes like this. I am honored and humbled to be a recipient of the THIRUAVLLUVAR Awards. I wish to express my gratitude to the organization committee, and I take this opportunity to wish them well in their future endeavors. I am a former resident of 155 Sadaro, Clairwood. I am the youngest daughter of the late Mr. B. Manikam Naidu, who arrived in South Africa in the early 1900s, and my mother was born in South Africa. I am active member of the Clairwood Tamil Institute and a member of the Women's Forum at the Clairwood Sri Siva Subramania Temple and a loyal devotee of the Satya Sai organization in Clairwood. As an active member of the CTI, I'm very involved in the social welfare of our community through the many feeding schemes and community assistance programs, one of which I have always been involved in the daily preparations of sandwiches for the underprivileged kids on a weekly basis and sending these sandwiches to the schools. I am currently continuing to assist the children by providing this service of sandwiches from my own home. I have raised 3 children and I have 5 grandchildren, all residing in Gauteng. And the picture at the bottom of a CV says, "The hands that serve are holier than the lips that pray," and that is so true. Could we please have Achma Koti forward, please? The Clairwood Tamil Institute as a trustee, member of the executive committee and the hall supervisor. He is also the pro of the Senior Citizens Club. He is also a member of the Clairwood Sri Siva Subramania Temple. He is also an Info Karate Club. He's trained under the late Sensei Dea Kristen Pillai. He's also a real Charanko Football Club. Mr. Pillai plays a very important role during the Clairwood Tamil Institute's annual children's program known as the Clairwood Toy Story. He coordinates the meals for all the children. He is always hands-on, ready to assist on any project. He has been an active member of the Clairwood Tamil Institute for the past 20 years now. Could we please call Mr. Rajan Pillai? Clairwood is an area that has many organizations, including religious, cultural, sporting, and social ones. Over the years, I started assisting in many organizations, either formally or informally. Some organizations appreciated my efforts and accepted me as a member of the organization. This gave me much happiness and made me assist them further. Being quite religious and a devotee of the Murugan and Mother Sakti, I have been attending our nearby temples throughout my entire life. I assist whenever I can at the Clairwood Sri Siva Subramania Temple. For the past 20 years now, I have been a part of the Clairwood Tamil Institute. At this institute, I am given many tasks, and it is indeed a pleasure to work with this committee, and more especially working for this 96-year-old organization. I have been part of every project, the Tamil Educational Project, the various events throughout the year, Tamil workshops, social outreach programs, and many others. However, one of the best that I enjoy in this year is the Children's Toy Story. We have reached almost 1,000 children in the area, treating them to a fun-filled day at no cost. I always make myself available in preparing and serving meals, grocery hampers, sandwiches, etc. As I understand that poverty is high in our area, and wherever I can assist, I will make a difference. I wish to thank the members of the Clairwood Tamil Institute for nominating me for this prestigious award. I shall treasure this always. I am also a council member of the Clairwood Senior Citizens Club, a member of the Clairwood Police Forum, and the Golden Games Sports. Could we please call more people with me? Our next recipient is Mrs. Radha Mudli. The name Radha is of Sanskrit origin, meaning prosperity, success, perfection, and wealth. A renowned figure in Hinduism, Radha was one of Krishna's favorite eternal consorts and considered an avatar of Lakshmi, who is a goddess of wealth, beauty, and prosperity. The Mudli family is deeply honored and humbled by the nomination of our dearest Radha Mudli for the THIRUAVLLUVAR Award. Radha and her family extend their sincerest thanks to the esteemed members of the Clairwood Tamil Institute for this distinguished award. Radha was born in 1947 in Clairwood, Durban. And is the beloved wife of Gengaba. She would later marry Dean Mudli, and as such, her life has always revolved around Hinduism, culture, community service of the family. Radha's impact on the community is recognized through her lifetime involvement in various institutions, including Jacob's Road Temple, the Clairwood Mata Sangam, Clairwood Women's Group, the Clairwood Senior Citizens, and the Sunbeam Play Center. The name Radha is affectionately known as the goddess of love, compassion, and devotion. It is therefore not surprising that this remarkable woman exemplifies these very virtues. Radha believes that serving mankind is a privilege, for it is the only way to worship God who resides in all souls. Throughout the service, she has dedicated her life to God, her family, and her community, never one to be the center of attention. Radha was nonetheless an integral to the success of many huge events and undertakings through her tireless but unobstructed work in the background. Radha assisted in countless ways to never shield away from hard work. She was famous for incredibly scrumptious, comforting, and truly soulful food, whether she was cooking for 50 or 500 people. After closing prayers at the temple, one would often sense people's anticipation for the delicious meals that would follow. Filled with pride, we often heard the excited whispers, "Auntie Radha is cooking today." To her family, Radha is known as Ma, a simple yet endearing name that carries countless memories and an immediate indication of the amount of people Radha has nurtured. Radha's granddaughter, Kimira, recalls the fondness of how she was referred to as Radha's tail and lookalike, the title she carries with pride. Kimira says, "Not only did I wish to share her beautiful face, I wanted to mirror her most gracious heart and helping hand. I wanted to be exactly like her. I would echo her every word and shadow her every move, with a front row ticket to every prayer, cultural festival, school function, community event, and family function. I am forever grateful for all the values and the principles my grandmother imparted to me and my family. She taught us that one's service to society in the form of time, acts, and deeds are the most cherished means of seva. Ma showed us to love, care, serve through actions and service to her fellow humans as well as to animals. Ma was never a woman of many words. She is a woman of action. If you are blessed to have been in her company, you will have no doubts that her love, kindness, compassion, and dedication, and devotion, and humility is always there. A life dedicated to family, culture, community, society, and just being so loving. There is nothing more impactful, rewarding, or heartwarming than reaching out to society. It's such a lovely message from her family. We'd like to call Mother forward. From a very talented musical family, THIRUAVLLUVAR family of Clairwood. They attended the Clairwood Tamil Institute School like her dear husband, Katbagam, an ex-educator and a very active member of the women's group, with conducting prayer services and promoting our culture until recently due to her illnesses. She has served the community selflessly over her time. We'd like to call her forward. Attended the Clairwood Tamil Institute from the year 1950. He worked in the printing industry until retirement. He assisted many organizations by printing handbills and tickets for the fundraiser. He's a former Jacobs Road Clairwood resident but is now living in Kazakhstan. He has served the community selflessly in many roles over his time. Could you please come forward? Mr. Praveen Naika is a graduate of the UKZN and the UKZN Graduate School of Business, where he completed his Bachelor of Science and his MBA degrees, and is currently studying for his doctorate in the Business Administration. After 15 years in a senior role in the corporate industry, Praveen left full-time employment to pursue his entrepreneurial dreams and formed a limited company called EMS Repsol. Could we please call Praveen Naika forward? Lavender. I'm just going to read a few things on what Ms. Richard has done. He is the founder and a chairman of the Newlands Tamils Association, which is 6 affiliated organizations Newlands West area hosted. Tamil New Year programs, which is 6 temples and cultural organizations participated live on Radio Phoenix. The Cultural Symposium, which consists of 250 children that participated in the Ayal, Isai and Nangdo. There is a Tamil Teachers Workshop, Tamil Schools Teachers conducted by Dr. Ganesh Murugan. He is also part of a highly successful song and dance extravaganza. He is also part of the instrumental in the unification of temples and cultural organizations in Newlands West, thus participating in the ISOFLOTs. Could we please call Dr. Richard forward?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and as much time as I can speak, I say welcome to our guests who are watching from India and to the esteemed guests that are here today. I greet you with the greatest of humility. I feel truly insignificant in the presence of such greatness behind me. But I think Richard's going to speak as well in terms of acceptance speech for the other recipients. 2 days ago, I spoke with Kuven and he told me that there is no need to speak at the function, so you can see that I'm not prepared. But 2 minutes ago, well, just before the function, he knelt down beside me and said, say a few words, and I'll tell you why. When Kuven invited me to the function, I didn't know what was in the envelope. I went home and my wife told me, she asked me if I'd read what it was, and I said no. She said, go read it and then tell me what you say. And then I saw the invitation and it said, an awardee to this function. And I promptly called Kuven and said, what is wrong with you? We're in the greatest fight of our lives in this country for the heart of Hinduism, and you taking time off to go have awards. And Kuven told me that, Anna, it happens, it happens, that's the way it is. I was very reluctant. A colleague of mine, Jiva, reminded me that even in times of battle, people get medals. So today, I've accepted the award only as a medal in our continued fight in the interest of Hinduism in this country in any case. Hinduism will survive, by the way. We mustn't think that we're here to preserve Hinduism. Hinduism, some people say 15,000 years. Scientists are saying maybe 27,000 years. 27,000 years. Hinduism has been here 27,000 years. We are not going to be here to make it survive or not. It will survive beyond us. The question is, will we benefit from Hinduism? And that's the question that we need to answer. The works of THIRUAVLLUVAR now, becoming English and becoming Zulu, has passed us by. The large portion of Hindu citizens and South Indian people in this country don't even know the works of THIRUAVLLUVAR. It's become an historical language in this country in any case. So I will answer 2 questions. Akamana asked, what are you doing? And I'll answer. This morning I was in the temple. I met Akayogumba in the temple. And she's preparing for an interview tomorrow at Ketamani Hindu temple. And she asked me, what do you do to Redmond? And I told her, I'm the caretaker in the temple, which I am, by the way. I'm the caretaker in the temple. Her answer was, yeah, I already knew that. The boys in the garden told me so. So I come here today only as a caretaker in the temple. The fight I've chosen is in the space of the temple. So you consider me belonging to the brigade that works in the temple as a caretaker in advancing temples as best I can. So that's the space I'm a little bit outside my depth in terms of the cultural development, and the works of Mervyn and Cobain and the other great souls amongst us. But in my opinion, the reason we are here today is because we had firm foundations, well-rooted in temples. Well-rooted in temples. All of us together can trace our association with Hinduism back to a firm and well-rooted foundation in temples. I remind you, those foundations are weakening significantly. They are crumbling as we speak. I belong to a temple. We were talking about 96 years here. I belong to a temple that's over 130 years old, over 125 years old. Nobody knows. I belong to a temple, the Ketamani Hindu temple. It was the first temple in the area. It was washed away in the 1880s, rebuilt, washed away in the 1890s, rebuilt in 1909. It's still standing today. I must tell you this, probably one of the oldest temples in the whole of South Africa, by the municipal internet site that said it was the first temple built by settlers in South Africa. That temple is visited once a year by about 50 people. 50 people once a year. So I remind you that the foundations of culture in this country is eroding. Don't be fooled by everything else you see around you. It's time to get back to work. It's time to get back and strengthen those foundations. So, Malaka, that's what I'm doing. But I pick up from Upper Vaipuri, and he said earlier that THIRUVALLUVAR said was walk with the world. And in a way, I have forgotten to walk with the world. You can see from my vesti that I have forgotten to walk with the world, and I forgot to walk with the likes of Cobain and the like. So the world has passed me by in a way. I live in the history of South African Indians. I made the mistake of living in the history of South African Indians. Now, I see concerned faces about people wondering why I'm concerned about this. I'll tell you why. I spent my entire life going to temple. My son and daughter used to come to temple with me all their lives. I have a son who used to recite mantras when he was 10, 11, 12. He used to recite mantras with a priest. God knows where he learned it. Somebody used to recite. At about the age of 17, one day I said, Yugi, I come to a temple, but his question to me was this: why? And I could not answer. His question was, why do I have to go to the temple then? What is in the temple that I can't get at home? Why do I need to be in the temple? Now, this is the great disjoint we have in the society today. It's the greatest disjoint in our culture. That we have a young society, we have young people that are walking with the word. And these are not illiterate children. I tell you what, my son's teaching me these days. He's read the works of Adi Sankaracharya more than once. I think he's read it 2 times or 3 times. He's quoting to me from the works of Adi Sankaracharya, and he tells me, asks me, what is the need to go to temple? Now you see, this brings us to this great disjoint in terms of Hinduism and the practice as we know it. I recognize very well the need for preservation of language. I understand this, but I'm reminding you again, the foundations of our structure, the foundations of our civilization in this country, the foundation of Hinduism itself and Tamil in this country is rooted in temples. So you can see why I belong to the temple brigade. But that is the reason for why initially when Kuvair, my brother, said, come receive an award, I was resistant. And I must say to you though, that the ego was quite elated. Mentally I might say that I'm not suitable, but the ego was elated to share space among such people. It was truly humbling. It was truly humbling. So with that, I thank the CTI for all the opportunities. I know you're saying thank you to us for what we do with you. It's not that. We must say thank you to you for the opportunity to work with you in the work that you do. So I think in terms of all the awardees, please accept our humblest thanks in that regard. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Mikanandri, I also want to add that the caretaker's job is more vital than that of a priest. How is the priest going to conduct his work if the temple's not taken care of? Alright, so thank you and congratulations to all the recipients. But just before we say goodbye to you,
It gives me great pleasure to call now upon a gentleman. He's one of the recipients. I've worked with him on many forums. Somebody who is contributed immensely to the arts, language and culture field in our country. Ladies and gentlemen, the recipient of the THIRUAVLLUVAR Award, I now invite to the podium Mr. Richard Govender. Just before Richard comes, if you noticed, maybe you didn't, but I did, the sound engineer is playing old songs picturized on Rajinikanth. Maybe it's a gentle reminder that his latest movie is releasing at Suncoast on Thursday.
Our program director, Sister Mala. Kalu Ndukwe Kalu, a Nigerian-American political scientist, had this to say: what we do for ourselves goes with us when we are gone, but what we do for others remains our legacy. So I stand before you in awe of those people that have gone past us and those who are going to go before us in terms of leaving a legacy. Today, I'd like to firstly acknowledge our guests and the role they played from abroad, and that is Dr. V.G. Santosham, the chairman of the VG Group, and the Ulega Tamil Sangam, Mr. Male C. Satya, the Deputy General Secretary, Marumaru THIRUAVLLUVAR Karagam, founder and president of the Malay Tamil Sangam, and dignitaries from abroad. President Mervyn Reddy, Trustee and Deputy President Kuven Naidu, and members of the Clairwood Tamil Institute, Dr. Miki Chetty, the President of the International Movement for Tamil Culture and his delegation, our President G.K. Mudley, President of the Tamil Federation of KwaZulu-Natal, the trustees Mr. Dan Mudliar, Mr. Morgan Govindsamy, Mr. Kuven Naidu, and Secretary Mr. Neelan Chetty, my fellow recipients of the THIRUAVLLUVAR Awards and their spouses, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, and all protocols observed, I extend warm greetings and welcomes. And pray before your well-being. I also salute the past and present members of the Clairwood Tamil Institute, despite all odds, continue to uphold the legacy of our forefathers. At the outset, I wish to thank the leadership of the Clairwood Tamil Institute, Mervyn Reddy, Trustees Kuven Naidu, and their trustees, and members for having chosen me as one of the recipients of the THIRUAVLLUVAR Award. And I dedicate the award to my parents, my teachers, late Governor of India THIRUAVLLUVAR, my family, and all of society, both here and abroad, that have played a critical role in my life. Like our brother Miki Chetty had said, it's our families that make us who we are and the work that we want to do in society. Today I'm blessed to have the presence of our wife Sheila here with us, my daughter Rachel and Melissa, my granddaughter Saran and Yasa, who we are here to join me. I'm also blessed to be joined by members of the Tamil Federation and all of you that are present here. I just want to say today, as we gather here, let us be reminded that South Africa and many parts of the world are confronted with huge challenges with food security, unemployment, wars, and climate change. Many leaders in civil society and government are corrupt. Moral degeneration has become the order of the day. Our values and morals are being eroded. How we navigate and work in society in addressing all of these challenges is critical to making meaningful contributions. So generations after us should continue to be inspired. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the solution to many of these challenges mentioned lies in our THIRUAVLLUVAR. It speaks to
Aram Poro Ingo, virtuous honorable living. Aram, virtue, Poro, wealth, Ingo, love. Therefore, our THIRUVALLUVAR's great Thirukkural, is 1,350 couplets, must continue to be widely read by the young and the old, by all peoples of this world, thus making the world a better place. On behalf of my family and the President of the Tamil Federation of KwaZulu-Natal, our President G.K. Modley, I extend good wishes once again and gratitude to the Clairwood Tamil Institute in hosting of today's awards function. The synergy between the Clairwood Tamil Institute, the Tamil Federation of KwaZulu-Natal, and many other organizations that are represented seated here is strengthened by the ideologies that we all share. That is placing humanity at the forefront of our cause, and may our collective objectives become our legacy. Make a name.
Richard அவர்களுக்கு மிக்க நன்றி, and Richard, mindful of all that you do in our community. Thank you. And congratulations to all the recipients. You may now take your seats. Drivers, one picture please, one more pic. In the meantime, congratulations to
Gerald on a brilliantly executed dance. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your patience. I really enjoyed being here. Thank you, Clairwood Tamil Institute. இப்பொழுது நன்றியுரை கூற Tadisha அவர்கள் நான் அழைக்கின்றேன். To move the vote of thanks, I invite Tadisha Naidu.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of today's function, and no function is complete without thanking each and every person that has joined hands in making today's function a success. Firstly, I'd like to thank God for blessing us all with His presence and allowing us to be present here this afternoon. I would like to thank our chairman and each and every member of the committee in getting together and making this afternoon a successful one. I would also like to thank the following people. Mala Lakshmanan for conducting today's program so well, even though she is unwell herself. Wilkes Print for all the invites, the brochures, the posters, among so many other prints. I would also like to thank Keith for working such long hours with our chairman in getting our brochure done. Our dancers, Duran and Havana, absolutely beautiful dancers. Thank you so much for blessing us with your grace. Guru Kripa Vaipuri for his wonderful tribute. Soni Pillai for gracing us with these lovely boys. Mrs. Niranjani for her lovely tribute. All our awardees this afternoon. Elite caterers, Raveen and his team for the delicious meals provided this evening, as well as the beautifully decorated hall. I would also like to thank Raveen and his team, as well as Gans Shans, for the amazing renovations done to the hall. It is looking absolutely beautiful. A special thanks to Hukuvian and the KNFT for the refreshing water provided to us this afternoon, Candy Chef for the lovely treats, Charles Naidu and Creason for the lovely sound, the Timothy Pariachi family for their sponsor towards today's award ceremony in memory of their dearest dad, DD Photography for capturing our special event, our lovely caretakers Lorraine, Lal and their two sons for ensuring the hall and the site is well taken care of. If there is anyone that I have left out, please accept my humble apologies. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that have visited our hall previously, you will notice that we have made some renovations to the hall. We are trying our best to maintain the hall for generations to come, as well as assisting us in continuing to do the service that we do. And unfortunately, we cannot do this without funds. There are pledge forms going around, and I ask all of you to please contribute whatever your heart's desire. We will appreciate anything you bring forward. I would now like to call upon Vimla to present a few appreciation awards. The first award goes to Duran Nabil.
Yes,
afternoon. Supper will be served now. If the first two rows could please use the station. There is a vegetarian station at the back. I hope you all travel safe and thank you for being with us. Thank you. announcements.